Hi, CCE. Last Sunday I shared a few thoughts about how God leads us, both individually but also as a church, that then flowed into some inklings and a few plans of what we might be doing in the autumn and beyond. Unfortunately, the recording was really poor quality. It's hard to listen to. And so our plan is that after the summer we'll re-record some of those videos in a little bit more detail, but I just wanted to give you a very brief summary of what I shared that Sunday, and you'll find a bit more information on one or two things in this week's newsletter. I talked a little bit from Genesis 12 about the call of Abraham to leave where he was living and go to the land that God would show him, which must have left so many questions and unanswered things that he just didn't know what that was going to look like. But he was invited to go on a journey in the midst of the uncertainty. And that's, I think, so often true for us individually and for us as a church. We have these inklings and nudges and thoughts, and we're invited to trust as we take the next step. And then a little bit from Ezra 3 about rebuilding the temple, new temple, and the sense of loss of the old temple, and the sense of excitement about God's doing something new, and how we need to learn how to journey through loss. And so trust and letting go are two postures that will really help us as we move forward individually and also as a church family. And then there were three things that we just talked about. The first one was about the place of the local, our places where we live, our neighbourhoods, alongside the King's Hall. And we're not coming with a cookie cutter approach or a kind of pattern that everybody's going to fall into. Really, the invitation is for us to reflect on personally what is the place of the locality for us as an individual or as a family alongside the King's Hall. And we just have a sense that for many of us we've discovered places in our local neighbourhoods, walks during the last 2 years of the pandemic, that maybe we've met neighbours, that we have a greater appreciation maybe of the place where we are living and rooted. And yet also I think there's an appreciation of what God is doing in the King's Hall as we gather together from all places around the city and beyond, and there's such a lot of life in the King's Hall. And so we want to just nurture and resource both of those things and see what emerges. And it could be that in a local neighbourhood that you want to gather with your connect area or people that live in that area. Maybe you want to do kind of dinner party church, or maybe you're interested in running an alpha group, or maybe it's getting together with some others and doing a prayer walk, or inviting neighbours around for a meal. Or it could be that we see church plants or congregations emerge in local areas. So there's a whole variety of different things. Alternatively, you may feel actually you're really connected and you want to help resource what's happening in the King's Hall. So this is a both and approach here, but we're just interested and we want to invite us just to reflect on the place of our local neighbourhood. So that was the first thing. Second thing was about mission. We do sense this local is important and we want to resource that. We also sense workplace and just how we help and equip people to be ambassadors, to live for the kingdom in our workplaces. That might be sharing our faith, but that's only a small part of it. But how can we live with integrity as ambassadors of the kingdom in our workplace? And so Ashley is going to be leading a workplace training course, and she's done a video on that. That will start in the autumn and run for the best part of a year. And then the final thing is that there's a number of really great initiatives that we're doing as a church, most of them based in the King's Hall, Food Bank and Prospects, working with people with learning disabilities and the youth, and a toy library. And we've got this emerging thing with new Scots and refugees and asylum seekers that Joy Heenan is taking a lead on, and that's going to continue. And we'd like to run a mental health course called Kintsugi Hope, probably starting in the early part of 2023. And so there's these initiatives that will bring wholeness and well-being and help people be fully alive. That's part of our reason why we exist. And then so that's the mission bit. And then finally we just talked about raising up a new cohort of people who will lead and contribute and serve within the King's Hall, and we so appreciate people who've done that over the years, and some of them have retired just recently. But we need to be raising up, training up people who are able to contribute to the church, and actually people who will lead with integrity in other places. And so we want to run, this is much larger than this, but as a next step we want to run a course based around the book Emotionally Healthy Spirituality, that invites people to go on a journey of kind of that inner journey of emotional health, but also of spiritual health, that will help us be the kind of people that will then lead, serve, contribute in healthy ways to create healthy churches or healthy organisations wherever we are. Alan Cox and I are going to be leading that probably monthly, again over the best part of a year probably, starting in the autumn. And we would invite you to participate in that if you're interested in growing as a person and as a leader. And so those are a few just updates. Hope that's a helpful summary. We'll give more updates or more detail probably at the end of the summer holidays. In the meantime, if you're getting away on a holiday, I hope you have a great and relaxing time over the summer. We'll still be gathering in different configurations over the next couple of months, and I look forward to seeing you there.